Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Getting Good in Lines of Battle. So today I have a new format. Instead of showing my live gameplay, what I'll be doing is showing a replay of a really interesting game I had and showing you my thought process behind it, what went well and what went wrong. Okay, so we're starting off here on this frozen map. This guy was like 100 elo higher than me, pretty tough opponent. And first off, I'm trying to think, where do I want to set up? Where do I want my troops to go? Immediately, I'm seeing two big things. One, this forest right here, which is on my side of the map, but kind of right up in his face. I know immediately that this is going to be pretty much the best place to put all three of my skirmishers in. They're going to be a really big kind of deterrent, really hard to weed out for the enemy. And there's basically no other good place to put these skirmishers, so definitely this going here. What that's telling me is also that the rest of my army is going to be around this area. And what I'm also seeing is this big lake over here. What I found is that the lakes are actually really good defense for your cannons. I was thinking of putting my cannons here maybe, have them be defended by the lake, but that would be kind of way too far away to get the optimal damage. So now what I'm thinking is, okay, skirms can go here, my cannons can actually go here. What'll happen is that they'll be kind of protected on the right side by the forest. Cav can't charge through the forest that well, and semi-protected over here by the lake. And they'll be able to kind of shoot the enemy as they go down the middle. My only worry, as I'm keeping this in mind, is that these forests right here are going to protect them from fire going this way. So I have to keep that in mind. So with that in mind, that's how I set up my army. Setting my cannons to go here and my skirms to go here, and all the rest of my army kind of slot in between. But as I start this first turn, what I'm noticing is that, oh crap, I see that he's all set up on the right here. Now my original plan of putting my cannons here is not going to work, right? Because when I put my cannons here, his whole army is going to be over here, hidden by this forest, and I'm not going to be able to effectively use my cannons. So I have here, let's see, my moves. So for turn 1, I immediately see that his army is over here. I'm proceeding with my normal plan, skirms go in the forest, except you see here, my two cannons are now angling to actually be on the right side of this forest. So their left flank is going to be protected by the forest this time. And they're going to get like a clear shot because their whole army is right there. Alright. So our guys are moving up, moving up. We're moving forward. Here I'm seeing that, you know, he has 2 drags, 2 curs. Obviously I only have 1 hussar for scouting, maybe to pick off a skirmisher. So this guy, I'm having him run away. And having everyone else get into a position. My cannons going here, everyone else moving up. You can see here that I'm putting these 3 infantry in this gap here. That's going to be protecting the back side of my army and protecting the back of my cannons. Now these cavalry basically can't get through. So that's kind of a really big advantage of anchoring your army like on this forest, on this lake. And what I'm seeing is, I'm seeing some potential in charging over here because his army, as far as my vision can tell, is kind of over here. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm running my hussar a little bit over here, seeing if I can find an opening. Now what I'm doing, if you notice here, is I'm putting this infantry behind the cannon, putting this one in front, kind of over here, so that they can clear up the line of cannons over here. Now this infantry, he doesn't want to get too close because he doesn't want to fight these skirmishers, but he has to get far up enough so he's not blocking the cannon. Yeah, and right here I notice he's getting double artillery fire on this group of 3. So I'm going to see that and I'm going to have to adjust. So my cav is moving over here, trying to find a potential opening on these cannons. You can see here, I'm trying to kind of spread out these troops on the very end because they're taking like heavy splash damage from this. But actually this guy gets absolutely wrecked because he's getting kind of side fire. So that's really unfortunate. I think I could have maneuvered this guy better so he's not putting his side to the cannons. That was a mistake by me. Now see here, I do see a gap with my Hussar. As far as I know, this guy and this guy are the only two people defending it. Cav is way too far away. I can come in and get a quick kill. And my drags are kind of behind them to support. So he goes in, and then bam. Okay, well it's bugging out right now, but there's an invisible grenadier right there. And yeah, he gets stuffed right there. So that was well played by him, hiding the infantry behind a hill. I couldn't see it through fog of war. And my infantry just gets knocked out. Gets stopped right there. So one thing I noticed is that my skirms are doing a decent job against people here. My cannon is getting good fire against this guy, although he's gotten good fire against these troops. And what's happening is that I'm starting to send these guys who are protecting the back up because I see that the cav is moving away and these guys are going to be isolated doing absolutely nothing. And they're going to lose me the game if they do nothing. So I need to kind of send them up into the fight. So yeah, he gets stuffed. They're moving up to help. I am able to capture this mid objective, which is not bad. And yeah, I'm moving these guys back because I know that this guy's just dead. Like, he has to save himself. Now here's something really crucial. What I see is that on turn 6, he actually moved this guy way over here, kind of probably trying to block a cav charge. Now my line of thinking is, oh my god, this guy is super isolated from the rest of his army. I have a bunch of cav right here. What I might be able to do is use all my cav to like repeatedly charge this guy, kind of to hold him up, and then send in a bunch of infantry to crush this guy, get an easy kill, before the rest of the army can react. So what I'm doing here, I'll try to... Yeah. What I'm doing here now is, okay, I'm going to aim my cannon at this one infantry here, send in cavalry to try to basically slow him down, occupy him, and kind of destroy his morale so that these infantry can kind of try to clean the job up. So we'll see how that goes. My cav is going in. Now that's a mistake because, I mean, obviously I didn't expect this cav to like destroy this guy because he's full morale. But the guy behind him, he ran into my own cav, and so his charge got cancelled, and so he's basically just doing nothing. This 2v1 is really not effective because my cav is getting the bonus of being on top of each other, or getting the debuff. Plus, I mean, I'm kind of shooting, my cannon is kind of shooting my own cav, so not ideal. My Hussar is running away. And what's actually ended up happening is these guys that I sent out, one guy is trying to just help a little bit out in the forest. And this guy is actually going to start walking all the way around because he kind of has nothing to do. So I'll just send him on this wide flanking maneuver. Yeah. So these guys, look, totally not worth it. They got absolutely wrecked trying to stall this infantry. I'm going to have them fall back, try to save them. And I'm going to even cycle in another cav to try to get another charge in. Yeah, looks... does no damage. I think his charge got cancelled. Yeah, I don't know how his charge got cancelled, but it did. So you can see here I got absolutely baited. I mean, 3 of my cav got wrecked just trying to take this infantry to half health. You can see here my Hussar was able to actually get away, luckily. He's barely alive. And one thing you notice is that his whole army, right over here, his whole infantry line is walking over here to kind of assist in this fight that's developing over here. I mean, and his cav is coming in full speed. I really need to be aware of that. Now that his whole army is coming in to help him fight, I need to send my infantry over to help as well. So these guys are trying to fall back without dying as best as they can. Yeah, this is getting really dicey. All my cav are just so beat up. I don't really have that much infantry over here to assist. They're just trying to get away alive. If you notice here, this guy, he was kind of shooting. I mean, shooting versus skirms and forest is kind of a losing fight for just one infantry. So he eventually backs up. Kind of not really much for him to do effectively, but this guy is still going all the way around, trying to find a good flank. And I think one thing I can note is that the whole time, these cannons are actually getting pretty decent fire on some of the infantry right here. And it looks like his cannons were firing at this guy, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. That's really interesting because both of his cannons are trying to hit this guy. Which, I mean, this guy is not really that important, I think. I think it's a mistake. I think my cannons are hitting more important troops who are, you know, in the middle of the fight. And he's hitting this random guy, just not really doing much. So yeah, my cav is trying to run away, run away. They're all about to die. My artillery is getting good fire. And yeah, I mean the double cannon plus a little bit of fire from here, it's causing my guy to kind of retreat. But I mean, he has a forest, he has a ton of troops to help him. He should be okay. Yeah. What happens here, it's really weird. This cav went through my infantry. Don't know how or why, but I mean, this dragoon got broken. Like, yeah, really bad play by me trying to commit my cav like that. And you can see here, all of his troops were kind of walking over here to help. All of my troops, I think, were able to get there faster. I think they had a slightly better position. And now we're in this like huge blob, or this huge massive infantry fight is about to start. But the problem is, there's a gap right there on the river. I mean, he has 2 curs and a guard and a dragoon kind of charging down here. I really need to know like what to do about that. Yeah, so some of the troops in the back, I'm kind of sending down to help out a little bit. And one thing to notice here, how the forest fight is developing. Did someone get broken? And I think the UI is bugging out. Yeah. Okay. Let's watch the forest fight. Yeah. What's happening is this skirm got broken. I think like my skirms were able to kind of mostly win this fight. This skirm is getting beat up. And what's happening right here is, okay, now I'm noticing this forest fight. And my big worry is that actually this Gren is going to basically have a free charge right down the middle, being able to take out both my cannons, or at least one. So I'm thinking, okay, now's the time. This guy's basically camping behind this cannon to protect them. He's going to walk up to protect against this grenadier right here. And what I'm doing is my skirmishers, now that they're winning the battle, they're basically finally coming out of the trees, coming out of cover to kind of finish the job against these guys who have kind of lost the forest fight over here. So yeah, this guy's coming over to help. And what it turns out is that the Gren doesn't charge, but the skirm does. So I catch the skirm, which is funny. Yeah, now what's happening is that all the cav that kind of gotten down here, they didn't really go for the cannons. But let's see, did my dragoons get broken? Yeah, I mean, all of these Dragoons are broken, basically. Yeah, that guy gets broken, he's broken. They're in a fight. But now these curs are basically going to come back to my infantry and try to finish them off. I mean, let's look at this infantry fight right here. Right, this is turn 12. I mean, we can see like how much stuff is happening on turn 12. Like, I'm trying to... What actually did happen? You see right here. Yeah, I actually charged in with this infantry. Now that was a pretty decent charge. Like, I got my high orc unit to kind of smash this guy. He's barely hanging on. But now, I mean, he is like right in the fight. He's surrounded by like 1, 2, 3, 4. He's surrounded by like 5 infantry. So I need to worry about how to get them, like basically get him out safely. Yeah. I mean, he's mostly going to stay there. And look, this guy does a charge. Kind of a terrible charge by him. Luckily, like, I had enough orc to resist that charge. Yeah. And what I'm doing is I'm sending this guy and this guy over to kind of help. I think what luckily is happening is that I actually do have kind of a large amount of infantry that I'm able to effectively utilize here. Yeah. This cur breaks my infantry. Wow, that is so lucky. If you saw what happened right there. This enemy cur was trying to hit him, but this guy marching up was able to like absorb his charge. Like that. No charge and no damage essentially. Yeah, you see right here, like this guy is super low. He's trying to retreat, he gets broken. Now things are getting really dicey. Because like this fight is not necessarily going that well. His cannons are basically shooting with like, they have free range to shoot. Who are they shooting at? That's crazy, that's really interesting. Like this entire time, they're not really trying to shoot this main infantry fight that's happening. They're actually shooting like this one infantry in the forest who's just kind of like hiding and healing and not doing much. And also hitting this cannon too, which is okay, I guess. But I think that my own cannons are more effectively able to like soften up this infantry right here. Yeah, these guys are running to try to get into the fight. And you can see here, this guy finally got around the flank. He's shooting this guy from behind. All these skirms and this infantry is kind of moving up to kind of wipe out this forest fight here. And these guys are just chasing each other. These guys are all broken. Yeah, and he got charged, man. Like, this kind of line of my infantry is breaking. Now that's a really good charge by my opponent, because he had his cur kind of stuck in this melee over here, but he actually managed to just charge him out, bypass my infantry, he'll have a straight shot against my cannons. Yeah, the forest fight is developing, trying to finish them all off. So, I mean, I am able to get a few point-blank canister shots, which is not bad. But you see here, like, my whole line is kind of getting back, because I'm just, like, outnumbered. That's turn 14, and everyone is just kind of getting back because, like, this fight is losing. I'm trying to finish this off here. And like, while I wasn't looking, I mean, this Dragoon kind of snuck out from the front, and he's gonna basically finish the job in here. Look at that, like, I don't have enough stuff to save him in time. So yeah, I mean, he's gonna take like some shots from him, some point-blank canister from him, and get to half orc, and I think he'll be able to kind of chase and keep him occupied, but all my cannons are out of the fight. Well, actually, Oh my god, I missed this whole thing happening. Now this Hussar who charged into a Grand, basically almost got routed, ran away. He's been rallying and reorganizing this entire time. And now he's finally coming over here. Now what's crazy is that like I'm pretty sure like I forgot about him for most of the turn and he basically forgot about this one unit. But look at that, like I am able to get a really nice charge. And like finally, now I'm able to actually touch his cannons, which has just been firing at me for free the entire time. And if we look at this forest fight developing, yeah, like this guy who's flanking all the way around, he's able to like really distract these guys, and my skirms and my one infantry is coming to finish the job off. The Tsar, okay, yeah, he's a little bit dead. Yeah, and look, my guy's almost about to break. I mean, he has a lot of troops in here. But actually, that was a really good charge over there. Yeah. So, I mean, I have this, like, 40% health or 40% org guard. And this 100% org line infantry over here. I'm gonna get a really nice charge on him. Like that. Totally break him. I mean, taking out this guard, which is such a strong troop, is, like, really, really nice. Yeah, I mean, right now, this line from this battle is hanging on. But, I mean, he still has a cur here. Oh, and you know what happened? Okay, I need to look at this. This Dragoon is on, like, half org. These guys have routed, but, you know, this guy, he was actually came over here to rally these two troops and kind of get them back online. Let's watch this. Yeah, and now with that, that is a huge help. Now 3 like kind of half org dragoons are coming back into the fight. Look at this, the forest fight. That was a success. All of their troops are kind of gone from the forest. And you know, now what I'm thinking is, okay, these skirms, they can do something. But what would be really awesome for them to do is actually, since they're so fast, they can chase everyone who's trying to retreat. I know that when these fights are dragging on long, you know, when all these troops of mine here, these dragoons here, when they're able to rally and join the fight, but I'm able to like maybe use some skirms to cause his guys not to rally, that's gonna win me the game if I can do it correctly. So yeah, now that these guys have won their fight, they're kind of like trying to start helping again. If you look at it here, look how much these dragoons can turn the fight. This guy is just perpetually chasing this guy. But now I have 3 dragoons coming in to help against this cur. I mean, yeah, that's causing his cur to run away. And if you look over here, that one infantry who started out like over here, fought his way in the forest and now is running all the way over here. He sees that there's like a super low line infantry, bunch of cannons to be charged, and he's just going full throttle. Yeah, look, these dragoons are basically trying to find some good charges. I mean, my line is kind of barely holding on, but it looks like we're winning. These guys are still chasing, and the skirms are kind of like, this skirm is kind of wanting to maybe chase some guys, and this skirm is kind of finish off this last skirm over here. Look, he's charging, and this one dragoon is going to come up to help him to finish off these cannons, which is really good. Yeah, nice charge right there. Nice charge right there. These 2 skirms are gonna, you know, 2v1 this guy. Now things are really starting to turn around. I think some of these guys are gonna start rallying. This cannon start rallying. I mean, look at the difference between our 2 fields. None of his troops are in my backline. all these guys are kind of rallying and recovering. But look what I'm doing. I have an infantry, I have a dragoon, I have 2 skirms all in here trying to like kill everyone and make sure they don't rally. Nice charge over there. And bam, that dragoon takes out the last cannon. That's it. There we go. Me, blue guy, 100, beating Pomat, 88 elo above me. I mean, we can look at the final battlefield right here. This infantry fight is still relatively even, but I mean, all these guys are rallying. Like, my cannons have rallied. I have like a bunch of extra dragoons over here. Like, all of these guys are gonna get chased off the field. So if I had to, I guess, summarize a few takeaways or interesting observations about this game, I think I was able to get a really nice position, you know, knowing that I was able to basically totally stuff his cavalry over here by just putting a few infantry here, using the forest and the river to protect my back line. Using my cannons here effectively, I think they were really effectively able to soften up his infantry that was all over here. While his cannons, even though like I was not able to attack them as effectively as he was to my cannons, they were basically able to fire for free the entire game. I mean, I think, was just shooting at this one infantry over here who kind of was just a meat shield the entire game. So I think I was able to do that more effectively. I did a really terrible kind of charge against an infantry who was isolated over here. I thought I could maybe catch him out. That evolved into this huge, messy, you know, infantry and cavalry firefight over here. But what was able to happen, I think, is like my really good skirms, concentration, and positioning over here, along with like getting these 3 infantry to kind of swing around. One guy went around, one guy went in to basically win this forest fight. And they were able to basically kind of get a line infantry to charge over here, get skirms to kind of charge and finish off, and basically prevent him from rallying, pressure his backline. Meanwhile, my own guys were able to rally. Like, I was able to kind of prevent his cavalry from reducing my rallying, and through that, I'm basically able to win.